dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
And good evening, I'm Jim Freeman. Over the last several years, the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 15 in Magoffin County has worked to honor the numerous veterans and fallen soldiers who left the county to fight for their country. Today, the organization worked alongside the Magoffin County Fiscal Court to dedicate a road to a World War II soldier who paid the ultimate sacrifice many years ago. WYMT's Alyssa Williams has the story.
Memorializing those who have laid down their lives for our country is just one goal of the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 15 in Magoffin County.
What we're doing today is continuing to honor our veterans who have meet one of three categories. They've either been killed in action, they were a prisoner of war, or they were highly decorated. And what we found through our research as the Fiscal Court and as a Veterans Committee that I appointed in 2019, we found that we have our local heroes who have been parts of major battles of nearly every war.
Magoffin County native and World War II soldier Private First Class Burl Montgomery is part of that long lineage. And on Saturday, Montgomery was honored through a road dedication.
I really appreciate the honor and everything and what the DAV has really done here, and also Magoffin County, the judge executive for helping to do this in a memorial for Burl Montgomery so we could have long-term notice and respect.
22-year-old Montgomery was killed during combat in France in 1944, but through events like this, Magoffin County Judge Executive Matthew Wireman says the legacy of soldiers like Montgomery can live on for many years to come.
This will be here long past any of us, and that's what we want. We want people who travel up and down this road to look and see that sign and maybe pique their interest and go do some research and find out, hey, who was this and what did they do?
Helping to honor those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. In Magoffin County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Thanks, Alyssa. PFC Burl Montgomery Memorial Road is located off Route 378 in Magoffin County, which is near the cemetery where Montgomery was buried. Harlan County and Bob Howard's funeral took place today at Everett's Funeral Home. Multiple people gathered to remember the impact Howard made on the community. Howard graduated from Everett's High School, where he later became the art teacher, athletic director, and principal. Record-breaking high school coach Billy Hicks, who grew up with Bob Howard, says he had many talents.
Bob and I went to school together from middle school all the way through high school and remained friends all through life, but he was really a special person, had a great gift for art, loved sports.
Howard was also the first principal at Harlan County High School when it opened in 2008. It's called the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, but it's been a troubling and deadly week leading up to today's Kentucky Derby. Authorities at Churchill Downs say 2 horses competing in races today sustained crippling leg injuries that forced veterinarians to euthanize the animals. 5 other racehorses have died in separate incidents since April 27th and the week leading up to the Derby. The presumed favorite, Forte, also dropped out of the race before it began. Churchill Downs says it's working with regulators to conduct swift and thorough investigations. Louisville was not the only place in Kentucky offering Derby festivities. Derby Day at Keeneland is a tradition in Lexington. The track calls it a community celebration in the bluegrass. Some tailgaters arrived as early as 8 a.m. playing cornhole, eating food, and having fun. One fan came all the way from Danville to celebrate the big day with her friends.
It's a big thing every year, This is something that I always grew up knowing about the Kentucky Derby. So to kind of be right here and being a part of this, it's amazing. So I'm really happy to be here.
We'll have more on the winner of the 149th Kentucky Derby coming up a little bit later in sports.
Well, most of us are dry as we go into tonight. However, we are watching out for some changes into your Sunday as more showers and possibly a few thunderstorms are possible. Here's a live look right now, though, at the radar. As you can see, most of us are dry. We are tracking a few showers, though, over the Cumberland Valley, places in Wayne County, over into Pulaski County as well, near Burnside, over to near Monticello as well in Wayne County. Possibly a few sprinkles as we go into tonight, but most of us are dry across the region at this hour. Those current temperatures are mild 60s and lower 70s right now. 70 for Somerset, 65 in Pikeville, 67 for Jackson, also in London, and 64 over in Williamsburg at this hour. Temperatures tonight falling into the upper 50s and lower 60s. Only a small chance of a stray shower tonight, but higher rain chances return on your Sunday. High temperatures topping out in the middle to lower 70s, and some of the rain could be heavy, some of the winds could be gusty. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Jim?
Very good, Cameron. Thank you. Officials are still searching for a motorcyclist involved in a chase with Eastern Kentucky deputies. Deputies have identified 27-year-old Anthony Meadows as a suspect. Powell County deputies say the chase happened on Monday on the Mountain Parkway. Deputies found the wrecked and abandoned motorcycle near exit 110 and Goff's Corner. If you have any information, you can call the sheriff's office. We go to Texas now, where the latest mass shooting in America took place today. Police say a shooting at a Dallas area mall left 8 people dead and others injured. The gunman was killed by police, and they believe the shooter acted alone. Officials say the suspect stepped out of a silver sedan and began shooting at people, sending hundreds of shoppers fleeing in panic. In a statement, a Dallas area hospital says it was treating 8 people between the ages of 5 and 61. A boil water advisory has been issued in Estill County for 17 areas. It's recommended you boil tap water for up to 3 minutes before consumption, drinking, cooking, or making ice. Water officials say customers will be notified once the advisory is lifted. And here's a heads up: if you still have a COVID-19 at-home test, the FDA is warning some should be thrown out because of concerns of bacterial contamination in the liquid solution. The warning involves certain SD biosensors pilot COVID-19 at-home tests, which have been recalled. They were dispensed by Roche Diagnostics. The FDA says roughly half of 1 million were allocated to CVS and another 16,000 were issued to Amazon. But the agency says that none of the testing kits was distributed through the federal government's testing program. If you have one of the recalled kits, you should throw the whole thing away in the trash and do not pour the liquid down the drain. As part of the Kidfolk Reunion, the Kidfolk got a chance to have some fun this afternoon, and the event also held some very special check presentations. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more.
In Prestonsburg, kids were out in bunches for the 2nd annual Kidfolk Reunion.
Basically a free space for kids to create, to play, to roam, to listen to music, to receive instruments, and it's just a beautiful time.
An extension of Kidfolk Reunion, several organizations came together to make the event possible.
The Kent Rose Foundation partnered up with the city of Prestonsburg Tourism, and I know they work with several other community partners as well to make this happen.
The Kent Rose Foundation also presented a couple of checks Saturday evening. The first to help graduate automotive technicians get started with some new tools.
Those students are chosen by the instructor for attendance and GPA. And the goal there is just to give them a jump start to get started on their careers.
The foundation also gave $1,000 to the William Petrie Trooper Island Fund, helping kids enjoy a free summer camp experience.
Trooper Island is completely free to attend. It's one of the best camps, and if anybody knew William Petrie, they knew that he absolutely supported Trooper Island so much, and he was a great supporter of it and full fold of it.
Giving back to the community and helping the kinfolk and the kidfolk have some fun. In Prestonsburg, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Thank you, Jordan. Prestonsburg Tourism Executive Director Samantha Johnson adds that several families have marked this as their favorite time of the year. A new business has officially opened in Floyd County right next to a popular trail and campground. The Eastern Kentucky Trails Dairy Bar held its grand opening on Saturday, situated right next to the Prestonsburg Passage Trail, and is now officially a key piece to the Eastern Kentucky Trails property and campground near the David community. From sweet treats to hot lunches, co-owner Randy Davis says he and his brother are eager to serve folks from across the region and bring a little excitement to the area.
The cold kind of dried up, well, the town kind of dried up, so, you know, I'm very excited to breathe life back in this community, very excited, and look forward, you know, to being able to serve everybody.
Davis says the addition of his business should also drive economic growth for the community, adding that folks from neighboring states have already stopped by. Coming up at 11, we go across the pond as thousands gather for the coronation of King Charles III a moment 70 years in the making.
Plus, we are tracking showers and storms on Sunday. All those details coming up next.